marketing is deceitfully simple, right? You think to yourself, oh, I have a business. I should just launch a website and go on social media. And it seems simple, but there's a lot of complexity that is missed. And if you don't know how it works, like the guts of it, it's really easy for you to overspend or to prioritize marketing channels that are maybe not ideal for you right now based on your. And that's where I come in, my teams come in with the data piece, because we speak data, and I know you can relate because you speak financial data, right? We speak marketing data. You could be driving a nice SUV and be broke, just like you could have a beautiful website that gives your business zero value.
Welcome to the Throne of Wealth, the podcast that empowers you to reign over your financial future. Each episode brings you tax strategies, wealth building insights, and stories from inspiring entrepreneurs. The Throne of Wealth is brought to you by King of Kings Accounting Firm, where financial challenges become opportunities for growth. Let's get into it.
Welcome to another episode, and today we have the boss lady with us today, the marketing boss lady in the house for all law firm owners, for all of our attorneys out there. Hear this episode. You have to listen to it. We have Margarita with us today. Welcome, Margarita.
Thank you for the warm welcome.
I am so excited and delightful to have you on this podcast today. I can't wait to dive into our conversation. I have learned so much from you, and not just from you, by the way, but from everyone in the community that knows you or some way has come across you or met you at a networking event. They're like, oh, the boss lady. Yeah, I know the boss lady. Yeah, you're talking about the sales presentation. You're talking about how to position your brand, how to identify and make a difference from you and someone else in the industry. Yeah, I know her. And I was with Will, and I'm like, Will, who's the next guest on the podcast today? He's like, the boss lady. Okay. No more. Tell us a little bit about your journey, a little bit about yourself, what you do, and the changes that you make in people's life once you work with them.
Thank you for asking the question that way. The changes I make in people's lives, that's part of our mission. But a little bit about me. So I am a data analyst at my core. I come across as a very extroverted, like fun, because I make so much content. But at my core, I'm a data analyst with a passion for helping law firm owners to minimize the risk. Because what happens is most law firm owners are super, super smart, and they know they should invest in marketing, and they can make some very logical, intelligent decisions. But here's where it gets tricky. Marketing is deceitfully simple, right? You think to yourself, oh, I have a business. I should just launch a website and go on social media. And it seems simple, but there's a lot of complexity that is missed. And if you don't know how it works, like the guts of it, it's really easy for you to overspend or to prioritize marketing channels that are maybe not ideal for you right now based on your. And that's where I come in, my teams come in with the data piece, because we speak data, and I know you can relate because you speak financial data, right? We speak marketing data. You could be driving a nice SUV and be broke, just like you could have a beautiful website that gives your business zero value. You could have a social media content strategy that looks like, oh, wow, they must be doing well with their social media, with their billboards, but the cost per case is high on that marketing channel, or it's not coming in through a different channel. And that's where marketing comes in. We're a fractional CMO company. In plain English, for those of you that don't know, we provide leadership for law firms in the marketing space. Because again, what happens is, just like you as an attorney protect your clients in the legal arena where they don't know how things work, we do the same thing in the marketing space. We understand data. We understand ROI from a marketing perspective. How do the viral view videos translate into actual cases? That's where we live. That's what we look at. And a lot of law firm owners are their own CMO. Right now, if you're watching, if you can hear the sound of my voice, you're the CMO and you don't know what you're doing, respectfully. So let us help you. So that's really what we do. And We make people's lives better because we're very passionate about helping people, helping law firm owners as humans. For us, that human connection is first and foremost. And it's probably the reason why we don't just look at marketing data. We also look at sales data and do sales training too for a lot of the law firms that we work with, the program Connect Convert, because we find that these business owners deserve so much better than what they're getting, and they deserve for somebody to be filling in those blind spots. And so our entire company culture, I'm excited to tell you that most of the people that work in our company, they're either bosses, like they're entrepreneurs that own businesses, or they're people that are aspiring to be bosses. So they know the weight of, hey, this isn't just a task. This isn't just a social media post that I'm going to follow up to see if somebody did it. This is something that's supposed to help my business owner with their business and reduce their stress. Like, that's how we take the work that we do. And so that's where we make your life easier is like an internal part of our company culture. That's really what our mission is. Like, we want to make law firm owners' lives easier. We don't want law firm owners to be stressed, dying of heart attacks, neglecting their kids, like having high blood pressure, like stress, like all these things are, if we can relieve the stress in the marketing space, I feel like it really creates a nice, calm, like life for them. That at the end of the day, like that's why we become entrepreneurs, right? Because we want an easier life. So.
Yeah, and that's the lifeblood of the business, right? I always say how we present ourselves and how efficient we are with what we want to project. Well, I mean, this is well said. That's why you guys, I mean, your company is the marketing bass in the industry, right? But going Margarita a little bit deeper, right? Because a lot of our business owners sometimes they want to outsource everything, and we want you to hire professionals. We want you to have your external team, your vendors, right? You have to have the group of professionals that will guide you and help you through it. But one of the things that I have noticed with the clients that I work and the clients that you work with, the difference, when I see and when I'm having the conversation and when I'm doing right, my job is the financial data, the KPIs, the metrics, the expenditures that we have, the budgets, and all of these marvelous things when it comes to the dollar expenditure and the dollar coming in, is that oftentimes our marketing seems to be working because we have noise. But not all of our leads is obviously qualified leads. Second, not all of our leads are converted because we don't have a repeatable process when it comes to sales, and our team is not trained. And so then therefore we're either tracking the wrong KPIs. I have seen that your company not only helps with the content, the data like you were stating, but the sales part, which is essential, because I can get all of these phone calls, but if my team is not converting these calls into deals, into retainers, then I am losing a lot more money.
Yes. Yeah, so let's talk about data. I'm going to give you, whoever's listening, a real quick crash course in data analytics that anybody can apply. These are just basic principles. Your top of the funnel data is going to be related to visibility, right? So to keep it simple, let's think about social media, okay? Social media, if your content is not increasing steadily the number of views, or in number of views, not followers, that one doesn't matter as much as it used to, views, then something's not right. So that's the first layer, right? That's the top of the funnel. Like, are you being seen? The other data point is, what sort of response are you getting? So again, just sticking with social media as an example, are you getting DMs? Are you getting engagement? Are you getting leads? Like, what is happening with the reaction piece, the response piece? With social media, there's different levels of it. When you first start off, you're not going to get leads. But as a CMO, if I see that you're getting more and more visible, then I can trust the process that eventually you are going to get leads. But if I see that you're getting more and more visible and there's no engagement, there's nothing, now I know we have a problem. So this is a simple way that you can diagnose what could be happening with your marketing with that top of the funnel data. Now at the bottom of the funnel, qualified leads, wanted cases, like those are interchangeable. Different people call them different things, but you need to also track. Like, it's not just about how many people are responding, right? We're getting further down the funnel. It's how many people that are actually responding or even qualified. With immigration law, for example,
Mhm.
it's super tricky because
Yeah.
I can run you an amazing campaign, not me, but like, as a CMO, lead a amazing campaign with whatever vendor you choose to work with, and we can get the phone to ring. Like that, I know my hand is on attached to my arm.
Mhm.
Okay. So that, no problem. But if you are not targeting with the right message,
Yeah.
you're going to get a lot of what I call garbage leads.
Yeah.
If you are not targeting with the right call to action, you're not going to get as many conversions. And then further down the funnel, if out of those wanted leads, your team is not signing them up, that's a whole other problem. That has nothing to do with your marketing. Most of the law firms that I work with, I'm going to say like 99.9% can do better at conversions. Like for me, they hire us to help with marketing because that's the sexy part, right, of what we do. But usually, whether they like it or not, I'm like, I'm going to help you with your sales because I know you have 5 more cases that you could have gotten last month, 10 more cases, 20 more
Mhm.
cases without spending one more penny on marketing from what was already coming in. If Karen would have just been nicer on the phone the first 30 seconds of the call, and like if somebody would have told Karen, if you're thirsty, get up and get you some water. Like, don't be rude. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm making fun, but like it kind of sometimes really is that basic. And guess what? I'm not perfect either. Like I have to remember this stuff myself too, right? So it's those basic things that I think many law firm owners miss out on ROI wise because they just don't understand these data points to track and then how to interpret with the data what could be going on. We're really good at diagnosing what's happening with your marketing with data.
That's amazing. What would be 3 KPIs that you will say that you have seen business owners track that are the wrong KPIs in sales? And what would be the 3 ones that you will advise them to track because those are the ones that move the needle?
Yeah, so KPIs that are maybe not as helpful, I would say it's not that they're not helpful, but it's just not clear enough. If all you're tracking is the volume of calls that are coming in, but you're not
Mm.
tracking where they're from, like that already is a blind spot. If we were using a football metaphor, that's
Mhm.
already a blind spot for you where you're gonna get tackled. Like you're gonna get hit, like you really are, because knowing how many calls are coming in is not enough. You need to know where they're coming from. And a simple case study that I can give you is we were analyzing conversions, and we were aware that there was some work that needed to be done on the sales piece. But in the meantime, we have to advertise, right? We have to have, but we were able, because we knew which calls were coming from where, to identify that our particular sales team in that law firm had an easier time converting leads from Google than from Meta. So even though the Meta leads were costing the firm a lot less money, and it seemed like, oh, let's just put more money into that, when we compared it with the sales data, we're like, yeah, no, let's switch that budget over here, because I know that, yeah, the cost per lead is going to be higher on Google, but the team seems to have an easier time converting those. So, and that's money in the bank. So let's shift gears. So that the where is the lead coming from is a big one. And then the other one that I would recommend that you track is more like passive data too. So like I see a lot of law firms asking, how did you hear about us? That's cool. But people lie, or they
Yeah.
forget, or they're embarrassed to say. Like, again, another case study. This happens a lot with the Hispanic community. They'll literally drive by, see your billboard, or hear your commercial on the radio, or watch your TV ad, and then they'll call the law firm, and then they'll say, oh, how did you hear about us? Oh, a friend. No, it was not a friend. And if you work with me, you have a tracking number, and I can tell you, no, it was not a friend. Like, it was that number. And even if it was a friend, the fact that they saw your TV commercial gave them that extra nudge, or that they saw your digital ad or your social media post or whatever, gave them that extra nudge, and you still have to credit that. Like, attribution is a big, big area of opportunity for improvement for most law firms, where like you really need to have passive ways to collect data about where stuff is coming from. Again, I'm all for, how did you hear about us? You should ask that question, but you can't just rely on that.
Wow, this is big, right? Because how can we make our business predictable, right, and make decisions to have scalability if we don't know our numbers, we don't know how to track the data, and how can we make replicable processes? I'm always big about automizing systems and freeing up the time of that attorney to do legal work or to do more of that business owner work, right? Run the business, cast the vision, take the business to the next level, create the future that they painted in their head, in their imaginary ideas of what they want how do they visualize the business. But if we don't keep data, if we don't track data, this is very hard. And one of the things that I oftentimes see as well with burnout, Margarita, is that we're spending all of this money, but we don't know where it's going. And we're tracking data or the wrong data in Excel sheets. But nowadays, with so many softwares, I know that your company, my goodness, has a platform for dashboards, which is fascinating to see.
Yes.
Tell us more a little bit about where should we track the data?
So that's a big question and I'm gonna answer it in two parts. Tracking is one thing, and then reporting is another. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm gonna repeat it. Tracking is step one. Reporting is another. Every single platform that you have in your law firm right now can give you data. That's tracking, right? If you're using Clio, Filevine, Lead Docket, or whatever you use to manage your leads, that's data. If you're using call tracking, that's CallRail, right? Reporting is really going to be custom for whatever you have going on at your law firm and what platforms you're using. If you're at a point where you have a lot of data from lots of places, you might want to just automate the way your data is pulled from the different places where you're tracking and compiled so that you can analyze it. So I actually have a free worksheet in my app that if you don't have any way to analyze your data, and I'm laughing because it is a spreadsheet, because anybody can use a spreadsheet,
Uh-huh.
analyze the data. That's the objective. It's not designed for like actually capturing data. It's designed to analyze. And this spreadsheet it's a fill in the blanks where you can literally put all of your marketing channels, and it asks you for specific KPIs already. So it's a fill in the blanks. It'll tell you for Facebook, it'll ask you for impressions or views, right? For Instagram by month, so that you can organize the data and be able to analyze channels across months. So I'll say it a different way. Imagine one massive spreadsheet where from top to bottom, you have all your marketing channels for January, and you can see in January what visibility you had per channel, what sort of response you got, like leads, wanted leads, all of that is in there. And then you can see, one of my videos on social media went viral in January, and in my website there was a 2/3 increase in traffic. You can start to then correlate the different marketing channels. And if you don't want to do it, send it to me. I'll do it for you because it's fun. You have to put the data in there so that I can see it like that. And that's a methodology that I developed. I call it the Bossy method. And it's a methodology for extracting the data and analyzing it. And for us, that's like going to be key to do it that way. By month, by channel is the rule of thumb for us. Beyond that, you can just customize whatever works. Like I've got folks that use software. There's a bunch of software out there, like Domo. There's a bunch that you can use to actually automate this process. They can be a little pricey. So that's why we developed the spreadsheet, because for us, it's just, we can give this to somebody that just started their law firm yesterday and help them get the insights that they need. But again, tracking, use data from your legal system, use data from your marketing software, use data from the social media platforms. Every single social media has some sort of analytics dashboard. Use systems like CallRail to track phone calls, the source. And again, we're happy to orient any law firm owner that's like, hey, can I just get on a call, tell you what I got, and just tell me what I need to do? It takes us 5-10 minutes. Like we can help you with those things because we're very passionate. Like if you don't know where your leads are coming from and how they're getting there, it's really hard for you to optimize your marketing, and you can spend a lot of money on nothing.
Yeah. and have no results. And that's going back to my point earlier, right? That's where burnout comes in, because you're not seeing the results of your marketing. You're not seeing that things are working. And the other thing that, getting into the conversations that I have come across, Margarita, is that understanding the content, right? Who's our ideal client? You mentioned something not too long ago where you said, we get the unqualified leads more than the qualified leads, but that has a lot to do with what content we're putting out there. The content creation part, and speaking the message that the business owner wants to transmit to the audience in this case. So tell us a little bit more about, the importance of posting the right content. And especially now with AI, we don't want to sound too robotic, I will say, or too scripted, but what are the advantages and disadvantages of that?
So let me just give you a real life illustration. Okay. So I'm me and I'm making social media content, and here's my video script. Okay. Hey, business owners, are you not sure what data you should be pulling for your business or how you should be pulling it? You're bored already, right? You're
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know who my target avatar is. I'm not being very specific. Like I am, because I'm saying business owners, but I'm not really that specific. Okay.
No.
And my message is not clear, and I'm not speaking to an emotional pain point. Okay.
Mm.
All right. Now let me try it again. I'm doing this on the spot, by the way. I have no script in my head. Hey, law firm bosses, have you thought about spending money on billboards? Here's what you need to know before you make that significant investment in this marketing platform that tends to waste a lot of money for law firm owners.
That's directed. Yeah.
Like I said, law firm owners, I gave a real actual thing that they might be already thinking. And I spoke to an emotion, the feeling of wasting money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can do that too with any business. If you're super clear about who you're talking to, what pain point you can actually solve, and you tell it to them in your content, that's way more compelling than what I see a lot of law firm owners do, which is give legal tips. Right?
Yeah.
You can give a legal tip. I can give a marketing tip. I can ramble on about data, and you're like, scroll, right? The other piece with content, and I'll use social media just because it's so easy and so common. It's not easy. I'm sorry. It's deceitfully simple, but it's, whatever. I think it's easy for all of us to kind of see it. With social media, you also want to mix in the educational, the value, like the illustration that I just gave you, but you also want to be a person. Right now, brands that connect as people, brands that connect on a human level are super effective at just creating that 360 experience for your clients. And this is where I'm going to sound like I'm contradicting myself. The data doesn't matter the way that you think it does. So for example, say that you post a video of you slashing a tire and, saying, hi, I'm Margarita, and, I slash tires, ha, 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 and it goes viral, right? Mm-hmm. Like that number is not as impressive as a video where you gave a very pointed tip, you connected with your audience, and maybe it gets less views. Why? Because it's related to what you do. And it's got the value for your audience. So you want to always track that, right? Like you want to always track the data with that perspective. So it's not just about the big number, but it's about the number, but have the context, right? And then you want to layer in stuff that's personal. Like one of my most popular videos, and by the way, my target avatar is law firm owners, and y'all don't engage with anything. So if I get 10,000 views on a video, I'm excited, okay? I was like, oh, wow, that one did well. It was one about where I did a kind of like a meme video. And I'm like literally just working out at the gym. And I'm like, I'm no longer the nice girl that asks why me? I'm the one that asks, what would 50 Cent do, right? And so I made a video, and it's like, it's showing my personality. It's legitimately my personality. Like I play, I like all types of music. Like I'm following all the cheesemen, right? So like I'm showing who I am, my playful side, and that got views. But again, has nothing to do with what I do for work, but add it to my mix, right? Add it to my feed. It provides that round, like 360 experience that I'm wanting to create, where I want to connect with law firm owners that actually like to laugh. I want to connect with law firm owners that, get that it's important to work with people that are smart, but that also you get along with. Like, so that's strategic, but it's also very authentic and it's very 360. So I hope that makes sense. Like, and that it is applicable. So like when it comes to content, yes, know your target avatar, but also layer in content that shows who you are as a person, as a brand, as a company culture, not just always the direct sales. Even though the stuff that's not directly selling, can get you the views, can get you the exposure, can get you the connections, you have to have a mix.
Yeah. And I think nowadays people are connecting more with people that they feel that they relate to. 100%. I'm seeing that, people are following brands that they identify some way or somehow with them. And that goes within the service industry. So I think your advice, I personally have to take it, right? I personally, I am not intentional. I don't think this is natural for all of us.
We'll talk later.
Business owners, we'll talk later about that. But this is something that I think it's tremendous what you do and what your team does. Putting the data, analyzing what we do, but taking us to the next level and how can we maximize what we have. To me, I'm big about scalability and having something that is predictable, right? If I am driven every morning, you and I do this, no one have to remind us, right? No one have to say, hey, get up, you got to go to work today. We ourselves put ourselves, and it's like, come on, let's got to do it. We got to lead. We put the hours, we put all of these things where, this is not an 8 to 5. And I know that many, of our listeners are going to relate with this episode. So I want to leave a message, of what your company does, Margarita, because it positions that not only as an authority when it comes to the law firm owners on what we do, right? What you were saying about being industry specific, and for those listeners out there, the burnout comes when you don't have control. So this gives you control. I always say anxiety is that unknown. So if something is unknown to you, either hire a coach, hire an advisor, hire a professional that will help you and expedite the process, or read a book, right? And so that becomes known and reduces your anxiety. But when you have stress, it's the lack of decision. It's a lack of productivity. And so we can talk so much about KPIs and so much about making our business scalable and predictable. But listeners do know that data will give you that power for this 2026 to have control of your business, take your business to the next level, and your marketing dollars to be invested, not just thrown away. A lot of the times I see, obviously, their expenditures, they're part of our budget, but there's a huge difference when I invest. Because if I invest $100,000 into a marketing channel and I know that I'm getting at least $500,000 in sales or $1 million in sales, I mean, Jesus Christ, I will invest a lot more. And if I'm investing $250,000 in another marketing channel that is rarely giving me 300 and 400,000 in sales, I am going to reduce that budget and I'm going to redirect it to the other marketing channel. So that's the power of decision. That's the power of you having control of your firm and your business. Margarita, we're about to end the year. What would be that one nugget that you will say, you know what, if you take something from this podcast, take this. So in 2026, you can change the game and you can change the direction of your firm.
Wow, I have so much. But if I could pick like one thing that I feel is doable for anybody, I kind of whittled it down to that. This is very doable. I don't care if you started your law firm last month or 20 years ago. Go through every single one of your marketing channels and make sure that you have a way to track what leads you're getting from each one as much as possible. Like, it's literally that simple. And many law firm owners don't have systems in place. And if you need systems in place, ask for help. Okay.
Mhm.
Don't try to do it yourself. And it's not that I'm discouraging you to do it, but it's like you're busy. Like it's okay to delegate certain things.
Mhm.
Listen, I delegate my accounting. I delegate my laundry. Like I delegate all these things because I know that I have to stay in my zone of genius. So I want to encourage you. And I gave you two things. One,
Mhm.
track your data. And the other one really is delegate the things that are
Yeah.
not your sweet spot, because you can go a lot further when you have the right people with the right skill sets to help you versus you trying to do everything yourself. And that's more of a mindset piece of advice. If I could have a vulnerable moment here at the end here, is I am so passionate about helping law firm owners not be so sick, not be so depressed, not be so angry. Like that drives me. And I'm getting emotional because I'm thinking about all of the law firm owners that I've worked with that I genuinely love them as people.
Mhm.
And it pains me that the business was a stress for them and not a blessing. And like at the end of the day, like that's why we do what we do at Marketing Boss. Like I'm personally just sick of so much suffering with these amazing business owners that deserve so much better. So yeah, one is data, and the other one, honestly, the big one, and I think the most important one, is mindset.
Yeah.
Get your mind right. Get your sleep, drink your water, take your vitamins. I made a video about that today because I was like, I need to remind these law firm owners. So yeah, because life is precious. Enjoy
Yeah.
it. It's supposed to be fun. Laugh.
Yeah,
So,
take care of yourself. I was having a meeting with a law firm owner 2 days 2 days ago, and in the conversation, one of the questions that I asked is, what are your goals for 2026? And he said, Karen, to remain the same. And I said, okay. I said a reason for that, and said, mindset. I'd rather spend a lot more time with my family, with myself. I want to find myself, what I like, what I enjoy, my hobbies, why I'm doing what I'm doing. And not all of us have to put our business on pause, right? And get to that stage in life. But I do think that mindset is huge. Entrepreneurial, being a business owner, it's a very lonely path. All of us go through different stages in life, and I can relate to what you're saying, Margarita, because when we don't have control of our business, when we don't have control of what we're spending our money on, we're working so hard on a day-to-day, we're showing up, and yet our dollars are going out of the door the same way they're coming in. So we're not taking home. And this is why I tell people, it doesn't surprise me how much you make in sales or how much you have in sales. That number that should surprise you is the net income, what you're taking home. And that number, in many of the times, is even negative or extremely low. So if you're taking home more than 28%, then kudos to you. You're doing something good. But if you're not, then this is the time to review it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So how can our audience, how can our listeners connect with you, and how can they find you on social media and learn more about what your company does and how you can help them? And Margarita, you do help all over the states, right? All 50 states.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And outside of the country too. So yeah, we're global. And the easiest way to get a hold of us, of me, is definitely our website. It's marketing-boss.com. And then I also have a personal website, Margarita Eberline, which I'm going to get redone soon. So I'm excited about that. And then social media, I'm all over social media. So DM me, like I'm pretty chill about that, about people reaching out. I do have a team, so we have our social media accounts for Marketing Boss too, so you could find those as well. And they help me keep up with my own personal brand now because it's a lot. So
Yeah, this is fascinating. So thank you so much, Margarita. This has been great. And, we hope to have you in another episode where you will be talking about more in 2026. But thank you so much for what you do and for helping all these business owners.
I would love that. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thanks for listening to The Throne of Wealth. Be sure to subscribe, share, and leave a review to help others find the show. A special thanks to our sponsor, King of Kings Accounting Firm, dedicated to helping you build and protect wealth for generations. Until next time, take the reins of your financial future and lead with confidence.